Welcome back to Mountain Connections. Now, many health experts are predicting that the 2022 cold and flu season is going to be the most severe it's been in years. And joining us today to talk about that is Dr. Ian Smith. Dr. Smith, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, what should we expect for this upcoming cold and flu season?
Well, unfortunately, we think it may be a tough one. You know, we always look to Asia and Australia to see what their season was like because their season is earlier. Their season is between April and September. And so we see how they fared and what they experienced, and that is typically a predictor of what we're going to have. Australia's had the toughest cold and flu season in the last 5 years, so it doesn't look good for us. The other part of it, by the way, is that now that the COVID mandates have been relaxed and people aren't wearing masks as often, they're not cleaning surfaces and their hands as often. One thing about COVID, while we were doing all those precautionary measures, it was helping to prevent cold and flu. We had the lowest numbers of cold and flu infections. Now that people are wearing masks less and washing less, we expect to see an uptick for that reason also.
Now, do you have any recommendations to help people navigate this upcoming cold and flu season?
Yes, you know, the cold and flu cannot be prevented. However, you can do some things to help treat it. Well, there's one thing that is in the prevention area, which is the vaccine. So you can get the flu vaccine. And while it may not stop you from getting the flu entirely, it can reduce symptoms, it can reduce severity of the illness. So that's extremely important. Every year you have to get a flu vaccine because the strains of the vaccine change that we use based on what is most common. The other part is that people need to also do the simple things of wearing masks in tight areas, whether you're on a plane, a bus, a train. If you're in a room full of strangers, go ahead and pop that mask on. It can prevent the transmission of these respiratory viruses. And also washing your hands and surfaces. Continue to do that. That will prevent transmission.
Outside of getting the flu vaccine, how can over-the-counter products also help in preventative care?
The two things you want to look for in the back of the label are something called guaifenesin, which is important because it helps to thin your mucus and helps you bring your mucus up. The other thing you want to look for in the back of the label is an ingredient called dextromethorphan, and that's important to help suppress your cough. So these are two very important ingredients. In my house, we use the Mucinex extended release tablets, which are very important because they can give you up to 12 hours of relief. They can help with both that chest congestion as well as that cough. And so this is a great product. We love it, and people should go to the pharmacy to see what will work for them.
Dr. Smith, where can we go for more information?
Yeah, if you go to mucinex.com, you can find out more when it's indicated, how to use it. Always follow the dosage and the recommendations on the package, but also stop by your Walmart or even your local pharmacist. They are there to answer your questions. Even if you don't buy medication, even if you don't have health insurance, it doesn't matter. They are a great resource to answer any question you may have about over-the-counter medication and how it can apply to you.
Well, Dr. Smith, thank you so much for those tips and tricks as we head into cold and flu season, how to be preventative, how to care for symptoms. We really appreciate your recommendations. Now, stay tuned. We have very exciting guests here in studio with us, so we'll be right back after this.